I want to bring in TPUSA contributor and host of Reloaded, Paige Roux, to discuss Biden's gun control plans and the New York subway shooting. Paige, good to see you again. Look.
Hi.
They never stop. Rust never sleeps. I can't believe I quoted Neil Young, but I did. Rust never sleeps, and the fact of the matter is these people are incessant. They'll never stop. They are gun control fanatics from day one until the day they expire, and they'll come after us every single chance they get. The problem they have is, over the last couple of years, Paige, 100 million new guns or more have been sold in America. More guns now than ever. What are they ever going to do about it? And the fact is, I don't think much. What do you think?
I don't even know where to start with this. Even this week with the Sacramento shooting last week and then New York this week, I think it's just so that they can push the agenda. And what's so frustrating is that a lot of these people who are pro-gun control actually aren't in the industry or understand what is being said and what's being marketed to them online. They're looking at their sources from CNN or Twitter and seeing gun violence. They're seeing mass shootings. What is that? And what's so interesting is that the Biden administration is only talking about these 4 things, and it's ban ghost guns, require background checks for all gun sales, ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, repeal gun manufacturers' immunity from liability. And ironically, whenever he brings this up, or if he needs to bring it up again, there's some sort of an event causing revolving around a firearm. And with yesterday's events or 2 days ago with the New York subway shooting, I have a lot of questions about that. Why, there is high capacity, he says high capacity magazines left at the scene. They weren't high capacity magazines. They were 17 rounds, which is a standard size magazine. And then he talks about banning ghost guns. Was that gun an unserialized firearm, which is actually legal according to the ATF? Was it an unserialized firearm or was it a stolen firearm? Because also the administration is getting that confused a lot.
Well, let me go back and say the police say they're familiar with the suspect. That's going to lead me to make an assumption here that he is a convicted felon because they've had so many run-ins with him. I'm going to go ahead and assume he's a convicted felon. Therefore, him possessing any firearm is illegal. Any firearm is illegal. And in some states, he couldn't even own a bow and arrow. By law, that's the way it works. So him in possession of that gun is a crime. Him using that gun in commission of a crime is a crime. Everything he did was a crime. Transporting that gun is a crime. So more laws against you and I, Paige, means nothing. Taking guns, being aggressive against me, it means zero because he is a criminal from start to finish in that entire series of events, correct?
Exactly. And they don't want to prosecute criminals. They want to get criminals out of jail, back on the streets, but they want to use the crimes that these criminals are committing and actually restrict law-abiding citizens. And what isn't shown on social media or on mainstream media is that every year 60,000 to 2.5 million estimated lives are saved due to firearms, but that isn't talked about. And in 2019, there were 39,000 deaths involving a firearm, including suicides. 39,000 out of all the firearms and all the people and all the crimes that are happening in the United States. 39,000. Now, the amount of lives that are saved with firearms, they don't talk about that. But this isn't a gun control issue. This isn't a firearm issue in our Second Amendment. We need to keep that. This is a criminal issue, and they need to prosecute these people.
Yeah, and gun deaths, first of all, you take off the first 50% go to suicide. Then 65% of the last half, 65% of the last half are attributed to, God forgive me for saying this, gangs and drugs and other illegal activity. And so then it becomes whittled down. Then you have justifiable shootings and justifiable homicides involving police officers and others. By the time you get down to it, being murdered with a gun in America is like 1,400 people. It's very small, and usually those are by people that they know. That's the fact, period, whether they like it or not. And something else that they don't like to talk about, and I'd like to mention, Paige, from January of 2020 to April of 21, the latest figures I have, 5.2 million people became gun owners for the first time. Half of those folks were women, and a good quarter of those folks were minorities. So women, blacks, and Hispanics becoming gun owners in record numbers for the first time, and they want to strip those Americans of those rights as well, which I find terrible, to say the least. I'll give you the last word.
And honestly, I love hearing those numbers. And then 2020, it was 8.4 million new gun owners. And we own 3 indoor shooting ranges and gun stores. I'm a full-time firearms instructor. I train those people. I see them coming to our stores and say, I don't think the police are going to come in time. I need to protect myself. Those are the people that you are trying to remove guns from. That doesn't make any sense. You definitely need to arm citizens. And actually, yesterday reported Georgia was the 25th state to be constitutional carry. So I know these states know it, that firearms save lives, and we just need to keep pushing towards that.